Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Ryan, before we get too deep into the story, tell me, what is the dwarf's favorite food?
It's definitely not salad.
It's definitely not salad. Thank you.
There's a lot of things in the salad other than the greens, but no, dwarfs are probably do they get meat, or do they meat and potatoes?
I think meat and potatoes and sausage, which I know is a meat, but, in separate forms, and long, flat, thin patties of meat that are beaten endlessly with big mallets.
Where do mountain dwarves get meat? Are they eating like mole sausages?
We've already discussed that the Underdark makes absolutely no sense, and you've tried to say that you could use mushrooms or fungi as producers, but you still need an original energy source, because you can't infinitely recycle like flesh to mushroom to flesh, right? You're going to lose potency there.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So you need nutrient-rich soil or something to.
Well, you need something more. That you need an energy source, right? You need a prime energy source.
Adventurers bringing that prime beef straight into the dungeons.
But that's circular logic, because they wouldn't go into the dungeons if nothing was there to begin with, right?
Well, other adventurers go down there and bring their magical gear.
And the circle continues. I think the dwarves mine harvest the goats from the mountains, and that's why they're mountain dwarves. Anyway.
So, speaking of goats, I've got a new one. Should I be paying? I'll pay for this out of my pocket. Is that
sure? Yeah, that sounds fair.
Thing to do. Do you have animals in your?
I do.
In your economics sheet, or is
I
it?
do. Let's see. We have donkeys. Oh, goats. Here we go. 200 copper for a goat, and they generally cost 15 copper a month to upkeep.
Okay, so I'll just shell out 15. So 215 copper. Jesus, what is that in gold?
2 gold, 1 silver, 5 copper. Your goat weighs 150 pounds. It has a movement rate of 12. And I believe it has 2d8 hit points.
Yeah.
You want to roll some HP for your goat?
Sure. Goat. What do you
2?
Just goat's fine. 2d8.
Yeah. Oh God! You get the oldest goat there.
But he knows the route so well.
Yeah, this goat has made the trip to Milfaldur 100 times. The goat will be your guide. You just point him in the right direction, yell in his ear, Milfaldur! And the goat will walk there. And you just have to follow it.
Yeah, so I'll get goat bags, rations, goat rations for 1 month. Will 1 month get me to Milfaldur?
Yes.
Easy, yeah.
Easy peasy. It better take you less than a month.
Can I get like a cost for food for a month and like the bags on the goat to carry the food and water?
Let's see.
So rations are usually we do what, 2 gold a day?
Saddlebags for your goat would be 3 gold or 300 copper. Rations are standard rations are 2 silver a day. Dry rations are 6 silver a day.
For a month, are standard fine?
Standard rations will last 1 week, so you'll probably want 3 weeks of dry, 1 week of standard if you want food.
Sure. So that's 3 times 6 plus 1 times 2. Is that right? 8.
And then both of those times 7.
It's per week. It is how? Oh, that's per day.
Per day, yeah. 2 silver a day
so I think
for
it was,
standard.
So I think it was 20 times 7.
20 times 7 plus 60 times 7 times 3. So you're looking at 14 gold for rations for a month.
That sounds like a lot, but I'll trust your math there. All right.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot, but that's like eating out every day for a month for every meal.
It's like eating a cube of beef jerky every day for a. All right, so 14 gold. Yeah. Right. Like, how can anyone survive? I guess you people aren't eating preserve. Well, whatever. All right,
Well, I think the issue is
14.
that most people don't eat rations because rations are a little bit more expensive than if you were just like eating regularly, right? Because beef jerky is pretty cheap today because we have industrialization and mass production, and
I should really just buy a herd of goats and eat a goat every week.
You could
and
do
just
that.
become a shepherd and retire from this life of adventure. All right.
You could do that. We could play that campaign.
All right, so goat is saddled, packed with food for the both of us for the month and water. I should probably a month of rations is 60 pounds, isn't it?
Oof,
Plus
that's gonna
goat,
be
plus goat pounds, plus what are the carrying capacities? Are those here? Animal.
It's gonna be 63 pounds. Your goat
Animals,
has
goat can carry
90 pounds without being in.
Why does it say 90, 60, 30?
It should be the other way. It should be 30, 60, 90. Somehow those got inverted.
Wow.
So
Okay,
it looks
but
like your
even
goat
at okay.
is gonna be moderately encumbered. So he'll have your
Goats
movement
can
rate.
barely carry anything. Did you adjust these from the player's handbook?
No, I think these are directly from the player's handbook.
Then maybe goat can't carry a month's worth of food. Maybe I need an army of goats.
Well, no, he would be moderately encumbered, which would be half
is
movement
dwarf
rate,
movement,
which is dwarf movement. Yeah.
But that's just the food. That's not counting his own food. And
Well, he's probably going to graze, right? Goats are
you
grazers.
had me pay for it, didn't you?
I mean, they were like the month of upkeep refers to all things that you might need to upkeep your goat for. Like, maybe you need to stable them for one night. Maybe you need to buy something one time.
I guess there's not even a goat carrying capacity. They're not meant to be beasts of burden. All right. So we've just. Well, I don't know. I guess I can carry some of the. What is my gear? My gear is like 50. So even I would be 2/3 encumbered. I think I need at least 2 goats.
Then you should get a whole herd of them.
Is that a thing? I think 2
That's legit.
I think 2 is probably sufficient.
Sure.
What did we say the goats were? It was 415, right?
For what?
Per goat. So I'll drop another. So that's 24 gold.
No,
plus,
goats are 2 gold.
Oh, two gold.
215, yeah.
215. Okay. Okay, so I got a second goat. So now I'll say goat 2. I guess let me roll another goat HP. This one's got 9.
Oh, very nice.
All right, so I got a guide goat. I got a secondary goat. Maybe I need a third goat. What's an auspicious number of goats?
3.
3. All right.
So the dwarven symbol for Sayor is a hammer, but the human symbol for Sayor is like 3 spirals all coming off of a center area. And that's sort of the shape that his constellation takes in the sky, at least according to the humans. So 3 for Sayor is definitely an auspicious number. You might usually have like a smith and 2 assistants working on stuff, It's definitely the way to go. So, 3 goats. Give me a third goat HP.
Yep. 4.
Beautiful.
These are nothing like goat the first.
No one will ever replace goat the first. I mean, these 3 have clearly replaced goat the first, but they'll never replace him.
All right. So we load up these goats, lash them together with rope. Maybe I should buy some rope. Gear. Ooh, clang, clang, clang.
Sounds like you're having a proper English tea over there.
Chinese. Close enough.
Close enough.
I don't know where the English get their tea from.
Originally from India and China.
All right. Thick rope. That's heavy. Silk rope is expensive. Thin rope is probably sufficient for for goats.
Yeah, you definitely don't need thick rope. That's like rope that you would have on a ship. Like
Okay.
anchoring a ship to a dock. Although anchoring is definitely not the right word there.
Feed a thin rope. I don't know how much the goats' rations weigh. There's water. There's probably a good 100 pounds to spare between water and goat food. That's fine. It's fine. All right. I think we are ready for our journey. Yeah. Let's do this. Do I need any special spells for the journey? I don't think I need to bother with light and load, so I guess I'll read off what I've got now. I've got Strength of Stone, Entangle, Purify Food and Drink, Animal Friendship, Heat Metal, Charm Person, or Animal. I was going to charm these goats. That was my plan. So as the days go by, I'll start dishing out those prayers. Purify food and drink is probably not very useful. I think I'll have bless instead of the purify. Oh no, but I need the holy water. Can I get holy water before I leave? Oh, I don't have enough gold for holy water.
There's no holy water in your town. You would have to venture to Tharnum to get holy water.
Yikes. All right, let's say more... no direction. That's an interesting spell. Magic, detect evil, calm animals. Renders them docile or harmless. Sure, calm animals seems like it might come in handy. All these animal spells. I'm ready for the goats.
Seor Shine proves of your charming of the goats and continues to grant you spells for them to charm them for your usage.
And I think we're ready to go.
All right.
This is probably just another day.
Just another day. You got to go all the way across, right?
So, I mean, it takes me just a day to prepare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the dwarven clans are probably taking a long time to get everyone suited up and organized into their respective columns or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Are those troops like gathering here?
Each state went back to their own individual mine, their own little village to rally their forces, and your brother's going to head to Tharnum to inform the Tharnum clan of his plans. Not to ask them for help, but to tell them this is what he's doing, and if they want to come along, that's fine, but if they don't, you should just be aware that this is what we're doing.
He's going personally?
Personally, yes.
Has he already left, or...?
No, he leaves probably tomorrow or the day after.
Okay. Well then, I will head out first towards Milfaldur while all the preparations are being made.
Okay.
I slip past camps of dwarves and head off. Does my brother see me off, or is he busy?
I think he probably sees you off like before you exit, as you're making your final preparations. He comes by, clasps you on the shoulder, says, "May the gods be with you." And on your shoulders rests the fate of our clan in some small way. Do me proud. And then goes off to attend his own duties. So, why don't you move me 6 miles? Get you to move yourself this time.
Yeah. So. Head up that way. And yeah. Do I have any representation of my house, or like, is there a flag?
You will definitely have, just like on your regular clothes, signs and sigils of your house as a noble. Your clan probably does have a banner that they fly, which you could have tucked away with you as well.
I think I would have something tucked, some sort of cloth, whether it's a tunic that I'm bringing or a flag. I don't. Have we established a symbol?
No, but it's your clan, so if you want to decide what the symbol of the Blacksteel family is, that's fine.
I don't know. It's probably just a hammer. It's black on gray. Something simple like that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, so I will have grabbed a clan flag or something. And maybe a tunic. Probably got a... Yeah, okay.
Okay, so we will actually pass the first 4 days. So move me another 3 times 6 miles, another 18 miles.
Yeah. I'm just sort of estimating here. Even ideally, I'm not taking the most efficient path.
Right.
But, we follow the curve of the land and make our way northeast through the Hemderkost Hills. I'm debating whether to stop off at these forges and stuff. I think I may just head straight to Milfaldor if I can. What do I know about the Hemderkost Valley, the Hemderkost River? Like, is that land that I will want to travel through, or is that something to be avoided?
So the Hemderkost Valley, according to the dwarf lore, is this... it's like a Fey valley. No elves are known to live there, but the trees there sometimes move on their own. And the creatures there sometimes seem perhaps more alert and intelligent than you would expect from regular creatures, It's sort of a superstitious area that there is debate over.
Sure. So it sounds like I want nothing to do with that magic, and I will plan to steer south of the Hemderkost River.
It's like weird fake shit over there. The rivers are fine. They're regular rivers. But the valley itself...
Okay. Is it a larger... Like, can I ford the river, or am I going to want to avoid that whole river valley?
You probably want to avoid the valley. You have no idea if you could ford it, so better safe than sorry. Just go around.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. We changed something over here? No, we didn't. It's fine. It's perfect.
So by now, I think I have charmed all of these goats. I don't know. I don't think the mechanism matter that much, but right, there's animal friendship, and then there's charm person or mammal. Animal friendship, blah blah blah, gives the animal caster can teach the befriended animal 3 specific tricks or tasks. Training must be done over the period of a week and a 3-month blah blah blah. Okay. Holy symbol and a piece of food life by like the animals. All right, so they're totally my friends. I can start teaching them tricks. If anyone in chat can think of goat tricks, I will happily hear them. Charm.
I think the go-to goat trick is just stay, and then it just doesn't move. The stubborn goat trick.
Yeah, I think the trick I'm teaching them now is to just carry my stuff and
to love you
and to love me. Maybe we'll think about teaching them to charge next, or to headbutt, or to kick, or like
Player's Handbook: goats get +2 on charge attacks and do an extra D2 damage.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it's been 4 days out here in the hills when, as you come up over the tops of one of them, you see, kind of on the hill on the other side of the valley, a pair of cyclops. They seem to be sitting on the hill on the other side of the valley, looking at each other, playing some sort of like hand game, some sort of like, slap the other person's hand sort of thing.
Do they look smaller than the Cyclops I saw before? Like, are these adolescent Cyclops?
I mean, if the one you saw before was 18 feet, these might be 16 feet. Or maybe they're just sitting down, like, sure,
right.
Smaller.
And I don't recognize any of them. Like, there's no maimed Cyclops that looks familiar.
There's no maimed Cyclops, no.
All right, I think I will do my best to avoid notice. So, like, as soon as I see them, I duck behind a bush, pulled the goats behind me. After this week of training, hopefully they've learned how to follow me. So I tug them into the bush, and we hide it out. I think my initial attempt is going to be to just duck behind a bush for a few minutes and see if they'll move on.
Yeah, they hang out for another 15 minutes or so. Do you keep waiting after another 15 minutes?
No, I think I go around. I think I'll circle south and give them a wide berth, add an extra mile or so to my journey. And
okay, cool. They don't notice you at all, and you can continue unimpeded. So why don't you take a out of the way route, and we'll pass the next 3 days.
Okay.
So this will be the end of the first week after this. Wonderful.
Okay. Any other sightings along the way? Or is it just
yes, that's why we have you
my...
stopped after 3 more days. This time you're getting kind of close to that Hemderkos River and the valley. I mean, you're still pretty far from the valley, but you have come across tributaries that you are sure eventually become the Hemderkos River. Small little creeks and streams that flow northward. When you're stopping at one of these to refill your water, give me a perception check to see who spots who first. Ooh, as long as you don't botch it, you'll be fine. Roll 17.
I botch it.
You definitely botch it. Wow.
I think I'm just, teaching the goats how to drink.
The goats are aware of how to drink, but they don't want to right now because you can lead a goat to water, but you can't make it drink.
Come on, we've got to leave this river. Drink, fill your belly, stupid goat.
No, I don't want it. I'm not thirsty. But you see downstream, there, I guess the two of you spot you at each other at the same time because you fail and he fails, or it fails. You spot an orc as you're kind of looking up from your goat, and the orc is looking up from the water. And the two of you, he looks upstream as you look downstream, and you spot each other from a good 600, 700 feet.
Oh, that's a ways.
It's a ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this awkward sighting of natural enemies who are both happening to be at the same drinking hole at the same time. The orc kind of keeps drinking and goes to fill its bag while maintaining eye contact with you.
That's a long way off. I don't think I really have any recourse, right? So I think I just look at I guess I just watch him, right? I can't catch him. I can't chase him down. I don't have anything that's got this sort of range. So I think I'm just sort of caught unaware as I stare at him. I gather the goats and make ready, but if he wants to run, he can probably run.
Yeah, he just refills his water skin, takes a few gulps, and quickly backs away.
I do note where he goes, though. Is he heading north or south?
He is headed northeast.
Okay, so I'm probably uphill from him, right?
Yeah, you're upriver, upstream.
Okay, so I've got marked where I end that day. Is this later in the day when I spot him, or
this is much later in the day? It's like late afternoon.
Then
you're gonna stay in the same spot.
I'll probably find some cover. Wander away, find a safe spot to camp, and try and find the orc's trail in the morning if I can.
Sure. You find a safe spot in the form of an old cave, or a natural cave. And as you bring yourself and your goats into the cave for the night, you notice signs of workmanship signs of this cave maybe not being so natural as it looked from the outside. There's
is it dwarven workmanship or is it crude?
Give me a dwarf lore check.
I don't think I have such a thing. Is there a relevant stat?
I don't know. I was going to let you decide what you think an appropriate recognized dwarven workmanship roll would be.
Probably either int or wisdom, right? Int is more knowledge, wisdom if it's like intuition based.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a thought? But I don't really care because they're about the same, 12 or 13 for me.
It's up to you.
I think wisdom seems appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Will?
Sure.
Right?
That seems fair.
I feel the stones. No, I don't. Okay.
It's old, whatever the workmanship is.
Mm-hmm. So it's either some, old, damaged, weathered dwarven carving or something cruder in the interim.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look occupied? Is there like a fire in here or?
No, there's no fire. It's what you do see is that there's like kind of this semi-natural entrance at the front, and then there's a small tunnel. You would have to like get onto your hands and knees to even go through it. That extends deeper inside.
Cool. So I think I'm gonna leave the dwarf or the goats in the camp. Like I'll set off camp. I'll rest. I'll eat.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the next trick I'm trying to teach my goats is to guard. So I'll see if I can get them to like watch, hang out in this camp. And I don't know how to teach a goat how to guard that location, but we'll see. I got a week.
Right.
I think it does specifically call out charm person or mammal, which they do technically get saves, but I've been dumping that on them, I guess, over the week.
Mm-hmm.
So the spell, if used it specifically calls out, if used in conjugation with the animal friendship spell, can keep the animal near to the caster's home base if the caster must leave for an extended period. So it seems like they're like a charmed animal friend can guard, at least stay at a location.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is more meant like if you lure in wild animals and charm them, you can leave your dancing bear at your keep. I don't know, but hopefully for now the goats will just like hang out in this cave.
Yeah, they'll chill.
Protect the camp while I guess crawl around in these caverns if that's what's going on.
That seems to be what's going on. It's evening. Are you ready to head in right now?
I got night vision. Yeah, I mean I think that's what I think. Like it's rest time. It's dark. I'm not going to be like traveling overland, but I'll spend an hour to poke around the back of this cave and see if I've got any neighbors.
All right. You head on into the cave. Can I get a hearing check, like a perception check, to see what sounds might be emanating from within that you hear, young dwarf lord?
I hear a whoa.
Whoa!
A vibrating phone and a critical hit.
It's your vibrating phone you hear then. So, as you start crawling through this hole, you hear whispering voices of some creatures.
Is it a tongue that I recognize?
What tongues do you recognize?
Just Dwarven and Common.
So it's neither
Both
Dwarven...
common, all the commons.
It's neither Dwarven nor Common, but do give me an intelligence check to see if you can't recognize at least the nature of the language, even if you can't speak it.
Ooh, no, not quite.
I will tell you it's something in the goblinoid family, but you don't know if it's hobgoblin or regular goblin or bugbear or one of them other dialects, But it's something in the goblinoid family.
Well, based on the size of this cave, I'm guessing it's nothing too big. I'm crawling on my hands and knees, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm only like 2 feet tall, so...
Okay.
I think I will crawl a little further.
You head deeper on in.
Has it just been this single cave,
It's a single
tunnel?
passage for about 10, let's call it 30 feet. And that's what you're crawling through when you hear these voices. And as you get on towards the back end of this tunnel, and you can see it start to open up, you can hear the pulling of chains across stone.
Good. And it's not, I'm sure it's not my own chains getting dragged across this cave floor.
You have chains with you?
My chainmail.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not your chains.
Cool. Well, I'll use that to conceal my crawl closer. So I'm hoping this will end in like a cavern or something, and I can like poke in and see what's going on here. But
yeah, sure enough, as you get towards the back of this tunnel, it opens up into a small cavern, maybe 15 feet across, 25 feet long, maybe 4 feet tall. And in here are the fairly fresh remains of a fireplace, maybe less than a day old. You can still hear the whispers from deeper within echoing out towards you. As well as
still hear the chains?
Occasionally. They're intermittent. They're not constant. There's also the sound of dripping water all around you.
Does the cave narrow again after this fireplace, or does it stay 4 feet tall?
It's roughly 4 feet tall throughout this first initial chamber. The back of this chamber has another tunnely exit, but it's not quite so small. It's a little bit bigger. You could probably walk it, hunched over.
All right, I'll sort of duck my head and walk on forward. Stepping lightly, taking my time, and listening to the voices in the chains. I've got my buckler up and my axe drawn.
Yeah. As you get towards the back of this chamber and get into that next little tunnel area, it curves to the side, and you can see there's some dancing shadows that are projecting on the wall. A little bit of light as well coming from around the corner of this second tunnel that curves.
Do I see like creatures moving in the shadows? Is that what it looks like?
There's definitely movement in the shadows, but the light, the source of light is flickering and dancing, making it difficult to see what the shadows are of. But something large and humanoid shaped.
Has the voices gotten louder? Like, am I near? This is the sort of likely the source of the whispering.
It's likely just around this corner.
All right, I'll peer around the corner.
As you look around the corner, you see that what that large humanoid figure is actually just a regular goblin who's close to the firelight and casting a much larger shadow than he might normally. There seem to be about a dozen goblins seated around this fire, and you notice there is a wooden cage near them that contains a group of 3 halflings.
Okay, well, goblin slavers. Yeah, there's no, I don't think there's any excuse for this, right? Doesn't matter what I don't think these goblins even deserve, all right, are there roots around? Are there roots in the walls? Or this? Okay,
no, you're too deep down. Stone and earth.
Goblins.
A dozen.
What are they armed and armored with?
Some of them seem to have crude weapons, spears, daggers, that sort of thing. But
are they armored?
Two of them in the back look like shaman.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, indeed.
What gives me that impression?
One of them's got a gnarled staff with dead roots hanging off of it, and the other has like ceremonial paint all over his face, and his hair's been carved into like a horizontal mohawk. And he's got I guess I already said the war paint on his face.
Yeah. Do any of them have metal gear or not?
Looks like some of the daggers and short swords are metal.
Mm-hmm. Heat metal is just a single object, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot. Not really prepared for subterranean goblin combat. It's only a dozen, but shaman are tricky.
So you can sit and watch them for a while. You're in the shadows, and you can see that they're moving back and forth. One of the goblins seems to be putting on some sort of show for the others. He's dancing back and forth in front of the flames, and perhaps if you could understand the words that he was saying, you would understand what this show is all about. But it seems to be some sort of primitive community goblin theater that's coming on here. The worst form of torture for a dwarf.
Wait, who's doing the performance?
One of the goblins. You know,
Okay.
it's, yeah.
For every 2 experience levels, the metal of one man-sized creature can be affected, i.e. arms and armor, or a single mass of metal equal to 50 pounds of weight. So at 4th level, I can affect 2 man-sized. So I can probably affect most of their weapons, actually, with heat metal. Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna ambush these slavers and bring some divine justice down upon them. So I think from the shadows, while this theater is taking place, I will sort of crouch and utter my prayers. So let's start with if a creature is charmed, they know it immediately, right? Like if I cast a charm person.
What do you mean they know it?
Like, can you see,
right.
like, if you like are hiding around a corner and you cast a charm person on someone, do they suddenly feel like the hairs on the back of their neck stand up?
This is the age-old question, and I never know the answer to this.
I mean, it's sort of up to how you want to.
If you pass your saving throw on a spell, I feel like you know that the spell was taking effect. Maybe I'll give them a save. If they pass their save, they get like a willpower check.
PC, you'd probably can make a save versus spell, and they passed and be like, what was that for? Is it like I was being watched, or and you a perception check or something? Yeah,
I'll give them a willpower check to notice if they've been
I think I'm going to
enchanted.
start do the heat metal first, and then cast a charm person on one of the shaman, and then if I'm still unnoticed, maybe cast a strength of stone. But so I think heat metal is totally uninteresting the first round it's cast, right?
So you cast heat metal on the gobbies.
Yep. So I think every metal arm in the area within 40 yards. So I'm 40 yards from them, right?
Yes.
I think they have much, much less than 100 pounds of metal gear. So probably every metal dagger will start heating up. I think, do you know how the spell works out? So let's see, during the first round, it merely becomes warm and uncomfortable. Considering they're all huddled around a fire, I'm wondering if they may not even notice.
It's quite possible.
Right, they're already hopefully hoping to be warm. And the 2nd and 6th, the heat causes blisters and damage. All right, so on the 2nd round, as the regular goblobs are starting to blister, I'm going to pick the shamaniest looking shaman and cast a charm person on him.
Okay.
So he gets a saving throw to resist that. And I think they get saving throw. Let's see.
So close. Actually have to look this one up.
I don't. Affects a single person or mammal, includes demi-humans, goblins.
He's got high wisdom. He passes.
You need stupid wisdom to get bonuses to saves. I don't think a goblin can get 16 plus wisdom, can they?
This one definitely does not have 16 plus wisdom that you cast upon.
I think if you were to look in the skills and powers for like the maximum stats that a goblin can have, I feel like, I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter in this case.
Doesn't matter. The goblin fails. Yeah.
Okay, so whether he notices me now or not, or when I like step into the scene, he should regard me as a friend, not or whatever the. I can even like give him commands. That's interesting. So I'm hoping he's just like gonna dissociate me and like from me and the carnage being reaped on his comrades, right? He's not. Oh, this friendly dwarf. There's no way he could possibly be associated with the blistering metal that showed up as conveniently as soon as he walked around the corner.
Perhaps.
All right.
Yeah.
So what happens on the second round as the metal starts to get blisteringly hot, maybe setting nearby wood ablaze, or if any goblins have like metal actively equipped.
So the goblins start to blister, and they realize what's going on. They immediately start trying to tear off their gear. Those that are having metal gear, they drop it to the ground. While one of the other goblins starts shouting and looking around, two of them grab wooden spears and start running for the front entrance, which is exactly where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So the second round, they actually don't take damage. It's just like a warning round. It becomes uncomfortably hot. They realize like the daggers strapped to their sides are like overheating. I don't know if they would think to remove them before the next round when they like start setting their scabbards aflame or whatever it does, but that's what's going on now. And then should we roll initiative into the third round to see if like my strength?
Yes, because you cast charm, they start to blister. We should roll initiative.
Yeah. Strength of stone. Ooh, casting time 4. That's not good.
So the gobbies
11. So I'm like trying to buff myself up. But they're
spear speed is 5. So they go at 7, 11, and then the spellcasters go.
All right. So I think I'm still concealed around the corner. Trying to stay unnoticed, casting my strength spell as the panicked goblins start running for the exit. Is that what?
Yeah. So two of the goblins start coming for the exit with weapons. You know, they think something is up, and they're coming to go check it out.
One passage? There's nowhere for me to like duck out of the way. It's just like I'm standing in.
If you beat them in initiative, maybe you could pull back and like step around the corner because there's that other large room. Do you beat them in initiative? No.
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah.
So I think they get like should they like get a surprise check to see if they?
Yes, they should get a surprise check. They are not surprised as they come around the corner and they see you. And there's like, they may not be mechanically surprised, but they're personally a little shocked.
Yeah, but they can
like,
still,
oh my God.
like, if they so choose, they can probably stab at me or
which they will do
push past me or,
after they yell probably the goblin word for dwarf in your general direction, and they make their attacks. One with a 14 and one with a 13.
I think in our AC system, there's no way to get that high. So,
yeah, at least not yet.
So I think I just have 12 AC.
Yeah. Okay. So the first goblin they both stab you for 3 damage with their pointy spears,
which is reduced by 3.
I think so. Yeah. So their weapons get caught up in your armor, and ultimately are wildly ineffective.
Chain is 3. Yeah. So it just gets snagged in my chain mail. My spell casting is not interrupted, so I flex as they do not stab me.
That's a scene from Popeye as your muscles begin to bulge all over the place. I feel like you should have to eat spinach to cast Strength of Stone.
I am eating spinach, Neal.
Well, dwarves do eat salad after all.
Cool. So does anyone else go before me? Do the goblins pile up behind these lead 2? Or?
The next group of spears go at 11. Or next group of goblins, they are still taking off. These are the ones that maybe had like a little bit like a metal chain across their body as like a decoration, and the chain's heating up. So they're So they were disarming last
this
round.
Okay, if they had the forethought to disarm last round, they would be fine.
Yeah, they disarmed last round.
If they didn't realize what was happening and they still have metal gear, this is the round where they start to take damage.
Right.
But it sounds like they just discard all of their metal equipment.
They discard all of their metal equipment. Two of these goblins go over to the cage with the halflings and start kicking and scratching at the halflings within, just to make sure it's not them that's causing these problems. While the others grab, one of them grabs another spear that's lying around, and two others grab burning logs. So two,
what are the
three,
shaman
4, 5,
doing?
6, 7. There's
Are they
still a
going
few
after
more.
me?
The shamans are casting spells. Mm-hmm. Yes. The first shaman is casting.
Does he beat an 11?
I have to look up the speed of the spell. So the first goblin goes at 9. And walks calmly over to one of the goblins that's fighting you, chanting. This is the one that you didn't charm. Chanting, reaches out a hand and rests it on the shoulder of one of the goblins stabbing at you. And you notice that goblin all of a sudden starts to like hulk up and beef out as well. And his muscles begin to grow.
I hate when you do this all the time, is you steal my PC's spells and just turn them around on me.
There's a set spell list we will always end up having if you're fighting it.
Yeah. I guess it's touch one creature. Okay.
Yeah.
So he also gets a strength of 16.
Yep.
I guess we know who's dying first.
Perhaps. The other goblin, the other shaman casts a fairy fire spell. No, he's the charmed one. What is the charmed one trying to do here?
Fairy fire isn't particularly aggressive, but he's like, oh hey, a dwarf. What's the? I mean, yeah.
Let's make him. Yeah, I want to see who this guy is. You know?
Yeah.
So he's gonna cast a fairy fire.
What does that spell even do? I get a save, I assume?
No save. The spell enables the caster to outline one or more objects or creatures with a pale glowing light. The number of subjects outlined depends on the number of square feet the caster can affect, yada yada yada. Outlined objects or creatures are visible. Outlined creatures are easier to strike, giving opponents a +2 bonus to attack rolls in darkness, a +1 in twilight.
Do goblins already have infravision?
They have low light vision like you as well, but you know, you guys are moving away from the fire. You're in like this weird shadows where your vision is working against each other. So he will outline you and the goblins. You know, this is the charmed goblin. So he's outlining all the people so he can see what the fuck is happening in this like weird shadowy darkness area, so that there's everyone can see what's going on. And it is your turn.
Yeah, I mean, so my strength of stone goes off. It's uninterrupted. And I'll say in common, hoping that there's not a language barrier, but there might be, like, probably to the hopefully charmed goblin. Like, what's going on here? Call your goblins off. They're stabbing me. And I guess we'll roll into the next round.
Yes.
You know, like try and play it off like, come on, why are your friends? All right, D10 plus 4. Ouch. 10.
Okay. Well, the goblin does happen to speak common. I gave him a 20% chance, and he critted it. So he will immediately say in common, hold, and then shout in goblin a similar thing, which his friendly goblins will hold. They'll listen. And they sort of step back. There's that one hulking goblin with a spear, and the other ones have grabbing partial weapons or improvised weapons, and one of them is taking a look at the halflings. A couple of them are looking at the halflings. And you can speak up if you'd like, because they've halted.
I think I'm just gonna like keep shouting, "They're coming right for me!" We'll see if I hit. So I get an axe to attack at I think +3. missing with an axe, punching out with my shield. So I punched him in the face with a shield at least.
Mm-hmm.
The hulking goblin. I think that does D4 for a buckler punch. Does that sound right?
That sounds about right.
Ooh. 2 points of bludgeoning damage to the unarmored goblin.
Okay. Let me roll our Gabi's HP here. Oh god, they roll so badly on HP, you knock one of the goblins out immediately.
I knocked the buff goblin out.
Oh god. Why did he give the 1 HP goblin the strength of stone?
Because you randomly determine their HP as it becomes relevant.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah, hopefully it looked like that was a retaliate. At least in the eyes of the charmed goblin, it's going to look like that was me retaliating at the guys that were stabbing me with spears. In the heat of the moment, someone gets punched and knocked out. You know, these things happen amongst friends, right?
Maybe. The other goblins don't seem to take that as a friendly gesture. So while their priest or their shaman might be saying like, stop, wait, these other goblins like, what, wait, it's a dwarf, he just punched Joe. And so they will stab at you with their spears. With a 7.
How many spears are there? I probably should have asked for a weapon count before you went into this.
4 spears, 2 burning logs, and then the other guys, their weapons are heated, and they're kind of like, let's get some chains. Wait, I can't attack with chains. Let's get, oh, here's
We're
some
using
other
all the chains
firewood
to imprison these halflings.
Right. One of them does score a nat 20 against you, though, which I believe is a crit. Not a double crit, because you've got, like, what, 11 AC, 12 AC?
No, I had a bonus to hit versus those goblins, too.
Yeah.
Because everyone was lit up, so that axe might have hit. I have 10 AC, right? I have 12 minus 2 for the fairy fire.
Sure. You don't have a shield?
I have a shield. That's what gives me a 12.
What's your dex? I thought you had 11 or 12 dex.
I have 11 dex. You told me not to use dex as AC.
I thought we said to use dex as AC.
I asked and you were like, meh.
Okay. All right. Well, then the goblin...
I had suggested just using dex as the base AC.
I thought that's where we ended up.
Okay.
I thought that was our end decision.
Okay.
So you have 13 AC minus 2 is 11.
It's not a double. It's just a regular crit.
It's just a regular crit. All right. So the goblin stabs you for 5, and 5 is 10 damage with his spear.
Reduced to 7. Oh, so that was like at the end of the round. They changed their mind. They decided not to hold.
Right. And they stab
Okay.
at you. Yeah.
So there's probably. It sounds like there's space for 2 spearmen in this 4-foot wide hallway. Is that like stabbing over each other's shoulders? Or
There's
something?
2 side by side, and then 1 behind stabbing over, and then the unconscious guy who dropped his spear.
A lot of space in this 4-foot wide hallway. All right, or 4 foot tall. Wide.
Well, because
okay.
you're coming around the corner and it opens up pretty quickly thereafter. Yeah.
All right, sure.
If you want, you could step back a few feet and reduce their number of them that could reach you.
Yeah, that seems like an obvious thing to do.
All right.
But
well,
I think we're rolling initiative, right?
Yes. No, the 2 clerics haven't gone yet, right? One of them strength of stoned, and on
that was
this
last round, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
and this round is going to bark skin a separate one. He was going to bark skin the stronger one, but now he bark skins a different one, increasing his base AC to 14.
Okay.
Although I guess bark skin should now
also
be considered. It shouldn't be considered armor or higher AC. It should be considered damage reduction. So I'll give it the same AC as like padded or something, or the same armor qualifications as padded. So it'll reduce 2 damage. And that's the end of that round. Now we roll initiative.
Can't catch a break. Still 11. I guess I'm like taking a step back into the choke point, which I thought I was already in.
Sure. One goblin will make a stab at you with a 4. The other ones will just kind of shout and point and keep their distance a little bit. The one goblin who speaks common says, "Friend, put down your weapon. Stop. Cease.
Yeah, tell them to put down their weapons.
They won't listen until you put yours down.
Yeah, and then I think I return a barrage of a flurry of axe blows.
Give me some rolls to hit.
Cutting down this the first goblin that was stabbing at me. That's a double crit, right? 23.
Oh yes.
13 points of damage.
Doesn't matter if it's reduced by 2, the goblin dies.
And I will actually step back into the room within melee reach of the other shaman, who has been doing these touch spells right behind. So I think I clear a path, step in. I'm probably now in melee range of 2 goblins, but also the 2 spear goblins, but also the priest. Then I'll start with an offhand punch at the cleric.
Oh god.
Another crit.
Oh my god.
Oh lordy. Is that he doesn't have any armor, right?
No, 10 AC.
So I punch him for 5.
That's his HP. Wait, no, I'm sorry. He's a 3rd level caster. He gets another D8. Okay, there we go.
And I have one more attack at the end of the round, but these spearmen can probably return fire.
Yep, which they will do. They'll stab at you. Natural 1, natural 7. To no real
Perfect.
avail. They look a little skittish. You know, they're making these thrusts and backing up, and they keep glancing back at their metal weapons that are lying around. But it's your. I guess it's the end of that round. This same
so
guy.
on this point, I think the metal. I think last round would have been the 2d4. They're back down to d4, and then I think next round they'll be just uncomfortable. But I don't know if they'll realize how that all works.
Probably not.
So I get my attacks at the end of the round if everyone else is gone. A 9. I don't think this cleric was hit in the fairy fire, was he?
No.
Okay.
The 9 is a miss. The cleric will cast a spell. I can't quite reach you, but he'll wait until the next round to make the. Well, no,
he's within melee reach of me.
No, he's in melee reach. Yeah, so he'll make
a crit twice.
That's right.
No,
he
once.
makes.
He got critically punched. Can he at least make a saving throw?
He fails his save, loses his spell. He was going to cast cause light wounds on you, but to no effect. And that's that for that round.
Interrupted. Yeah.
Interrupted. Next initiative.
9.
Okay. So you've taken down two
spearmen,
and badly wounded one of the shaman. The goblins go. Well, you go first before the goblins that you're engaged with.
Okay, let's see if I can finish the shaman. So a 16. Is he
Will
armored?
hit. No, he's not armored.
For 5 more damage. Is he
Still
up?
standing. Yep.
Convenient that he leveled up just in time, but not convenient enough. Shield punch for another 4.
He goes down.
All right.
The goblins all kind of pull back, so they're not in this choke point anymore, and so they can get like
So
a nice
we're now I think, all in the
curvature.
room. They're probably back to the fire or something as I'm stepping into their cavern.
Yeah, they're beginning to back to the fire. They've got clubs and chains and spears, and if you were to step forward, they could easily collapse onto 3 sides of you. So now they're in a more defensive position now that they know what's going on
I
here.
whirl around, square off with these remaining. So it's 9 goblins, one of which is charmed.
Yes.
2 have spears. Several are brandishing burning logs.
Yes.
Several of the rest are probably just tooth and claw. All right. I've already gone this round, so they can close and attack. The spearman probably withdrew.
Yeah,
correct?
it took this round to get into position, and they're waiting for you to now close with them further.
Yeah, so I think we just square off, stare down, and roll initiative for next round. Where is the halfling cage in relation to all of this? Is it like on the far side of the fire from me?
The right side.
So can I walk over to it if I wanted to?
You could walk over to it. It's on like the edge of the goblin concave.
Okay. So I get a 9.
You actually go first this time.
So I'm gonna go to the cave actually. So I was squaring off with the goblins. I maybe make a few feints, and then I hopefully surprise them by banking right and beelining it to the halfling cage. Is there a goblin right next to the cage?
On the other side of the cage from you, though.
Okay, so if he's like standing guard, I would make an attack against him.
But he's on the other side of the cage.
Otherwise, I'll just try and get into the cage. Is it locked? You said it was just a wooden cage, right?
It's a wooden cage. There's a door attached to it that is tied shut. You could probably
maybe
hack
in the heat
at
of
it.
battle, I just need to make an attack against the
Yeah.
rope or whatever. Critting it. So
my
I just
god.
reduce the cage to splinters. Halflings scream and cover their eyes as they.
Halflings scurry and run. They start to run past you out the exit.
Mind the goats, little friends. Mind the goats. All right.
Mind the goats. The the regular goblins will now pounce on you now that you've come in and disrupted their shenanigans.
All right. I do have attacks. So those will probably let's just resolve like my offhand and stuff at the end of the round. But
sure,
so
the first one's
charge. Yeah.
The first one's a miss. The 15 and the 16 are both hits. One of those is with a spear for 2 damage, which is reduced to nothing. One of them is with a log, bludgeoning, burning log that does 2 points of bludgeoning and 1 point of fire damage, which is not absorbed by your armor.
Okay. The bludgeoning is absorbed though, right?
The fire though, it's like it singes your face.
Yeah.
You get
so
some
I take 1 point of burning damage.
2nd degree burns as your cheeks begin to blister. And the third goblin rolls an 18 against you with a whirling chain, which is a crack across you. Oh shit! I know what we fucked up. It's you need to clear by 10 to crit when we're doing this new AC system. That's why. Okay, never mind. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. Okay, and then different weapons do better than that.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll just leave everything as it was. But
we were both critting too much.
We were both critting too much. Right. So this 18 is actually just a regular hit with the chain.
And like that 23, for example, would have been just a
regular crit. Right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you test out new systems. You forget the rules. Chain damage is D4 plus 1 against small and medium creatures, like a dwarf. For 2 damage, the chain whips around and clatters against your chainmail.
2? So I think that's reduced to nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, does literally nothing. The cleric had his spell interrupted. He's out of spells.
Chain versus chain. Yeah.
The other cleric who is charmed is really like he's seeing.
Why are these friendly people fighting?
But at the same time, like he might consider you a friend, but you're clearly killing the people he lives with, and with a tear beginning to run down his eye, and the look of determination. He's gonna side with his other friends.
Trying to break up the violence seems reasonable. I don't think he can outright attack me or anything, but
he will cast. He doesn't have a light spell. Goblins don't carry light spells with them, but he will cast Strength of Stone on himself and boost his own strength. And it's the end of your turn, so the end of your attacks. Did you have other attacks you were going to make? Offhand attacks and stuff?
Yeah. I was just reviewing the charm person, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so I do have an offhand, and then I've got a second axe attack that round. I think they're just AC 10s, right?
Yep.
So shield punch for 3 bludgeoning against the spear and against a spearman.
That will not quite drop him.
All right, and the battle axe misses, it looks like, and I think we're on to initiative.
All right, let's roll it. The halflings are fleeing. The goblins are trying to bring you down. Okay. Our brave cleric is going to go at 5.
Oh, so will I.
He's going to try and just tackle you to the ground to stop the violence, stop the bloodshed. Somehow
do I take the opportunity attacks? That would certainly break the charm.
It would certainly break the charm, but it's a free attack. How can you turn that down?
Yeah, at +4, I believe. Is that a thing?
Yep.
Yeah, so I...
Oh, you hit him.
Yeah, it's It's a juicy 7 points of damage with an axe, and I think since I dual wield, I get a shield punch as well, right?
Yes, you do.
Also at +4.
Yep.
Critically missing. I don't shield punch.
All right. Then his tackle will resolve, and your regular attacks will resolve. So he goes to tackle you. Rolls a 5. So I think he goes to tackle. You hit him with the axe, and he just like turns to the side and rolls across the ground with the axe blow in his shoulder, completely missing you.
The charm. Would I know the charm is like immediately broken? Although he's probably out of spells too. I'm gonna continue with the spearman. Although I'm gonna stay. I mean, everyone's within melee range of me. D20 plus 3 against a spearman is a 13. 8 points of damage. That should fell the spearman.
Yes, it'll drop a spearman.
There's one more guy with a spear?
Yeah, some of the other unarmed goblins are picking up the spears of the knocked out or dead goblins, though. They're recycling weaponry.
Okay.
They're green goblins.
It should be around or whatever before they can pick the spear back up, though, right?
Right.
Unless they're just waiting to jump in and, yeah.
Are you going to stay in the fray, or are you going to retreat?
Yeah, I think I stay in the fray so that I can take opportunity attacks if the shaman tries to run or...
Okay.
I think I'm clamoring. I mean, I guess I know the charm is done, but the believable lie that I'm weaving is that some curse has risen up from the earth, and these weapons have struck out against you. An evil spirit, an evil fire spirit from the hills is upon us.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. No.
So can I get a head count? Or a decapitation count? How many? I've killed
so we've got 4.
One shaman. I think I've brought down 4, including.
I think
a
you
shaman.
brought down 4, including 1 shaman. So there's a wounded shaman, and then there are 7 more goblins. 3 of which have spears, the others have chains and logs and sticks. None of them have gone back for their metal weapons.
Yeah, and I think there's, last I imagined, I'm backed up against a cage or whatever, and there are like 3 goblins, including the shaman, squared off with me.
Yes.
That sound about right? I brought one down, and someone probably steps in to take its place.
Yes. And they will go at 5.
No, we just did 5?
We just
did
rolled initiative.
5. No.
Oh, the other ones didn't get their attacks.
So this is initiative 5 was both me. The shaman went at 5,
and you went at 5, and then everyone else got their attacks. And this is the next round of initiative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Oh my god! All right. Well, this is 2 of the unarmed goblins are also going to try the shaman's tackle technique, hoping to go before you do.
So they just come like charging in.
Both of them come charging in at you simultaneously.
They jump on the goblin pile. Do they go before me or?
Nope, they go at 5. So you get your opportunity attacks at the same time that they get their coming in and trying to tackle you attacks.
Sure. 3 plus 4. All right, so 20. So there's a crit.
That is a double crit. Yeah.
Double crit. Yeah, it's clears by 15.
Yeah.
Is that? So 3d8, 11 damage.
Oh my god!
I kill one.
Fucking
the other goblin, 17 for 3 damage, and then the offhand. Missing. So one of them still collides with me. He gets an attack roll, then a strength check, or is it just straight to strength checks?
So attack roll and strength check. The attack roll hits because of the fairy fire, and give me an opposed strength check against the goblin.
Oh no, I fail.
Rolls a 23.
So
the goblin
I think he does manage
hits
to
you.
Bring me prone.
Yeah.
My own attacks are also resolving this round, though.
Right. So you get your attack right now.
Which is not at +4. I don't think. No, it's simultaneous. So just my regular, which is a hit. So my regular attack's 6 damage. Does that kill him?
Yes, it does.
So I think he still manages to bring me prone, but he dies in the process. Lands on top of me, rendering me prone.
Right.
Can I stand back up? immediately?
I feel like
since
if you
he's
stand
dead,
up, it
or-
sort of negates his tackling you prone, but you do kill him.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a move at the end of the round or something like that.
So I think everyone else gets to kick me while I'm down, but at the end of the round, I'll stand back up and make my end of round attacks.
Yes.
Okay.
So one goblin comes over and is going to try and pin your shield to the ground with his spear. So he's making a called shot against your shield.
Yeah.
With a natural 15. He'll spike your shield and then just put his weight on it. Since he can't
I don't remember
actually
the exact disarm
push it
rules,
through.
but I'll consider this like a disarm or whatever. He's negated my shield and negated my arm or whatever.
Yeah, you can make a strength check to try and like rip it out away from him, but for the until you do so, it's held to the ground. This is a buckler, so it's a grabbed thing. It's not a strapped thing. So you can just let go if you want. Otherwise, your shield's
I think
stuck.
normally disarms include an opposed roll, don't they?
Right, but this is not so much a disarm as a
As a GM hacks, as in you made up a combat maneuver right now, which is fine.
Yeah, we make up combat maneuvers all the time.
Sure.
It's just salty when the GM does it instead of the player. we congratulate players for being creative.
Yeah.
We punish GMs for being creative.
Or at least grumble about them.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's all good.
Are there other? There should
are.
be a couple of other goblins that come to
there's
kick me.
two
I was gonna
spear
say
attacks.
before you did the custom attack that I feel like I should have cover for the corpse on top of me, but there's probably a bonus for the prone.
Well, a
So
natural
maybe it's
1
just-
and a natural
yeah.
3 don't matter. You
Okay.
could be blind and on your back and, chained to the
Yeah.
ground and they would still miss you.
Okay.
And then
Alright.
just one guy kicks you, just like with a foot, which is actually like a 17 to hit.
Just like 1 point of damage.
It's negated by your armor entirely. But the goblin does kick you.
It hurts. Hurts my pride.
It hurts your
so
pride.
normally I would have an offhand attack this round. Can I use that to do like the strength check to try and wrench that buckler free?
Yes,
So
I
do,
like
an
that.
Post strength check.
Oh
Nailing
my
it.
god.
So I don't think I can use that buckler for this round, but I wrench it free, stand back up, and use my axe, my 3/2 axe attack, to not do anything, and we roll for initiative. I think.
Okay. Yes. And you took down 2 more goblins this round, so there should
that's right,
be
yeah.
5 left. Plus the shaman.
A 1. Nice.
Okay. You definitely go first. God, your initiative rolls are so good.
I know. 1, 1, 1. All right. I missed with my. Missed with my primary hand. Missed with my bent up buckler. Flailing around in the fray. Are all 5 goblins surrounding me at this point, or have?
It's
or are
5
they-
plus a shaman. There's 4 around you. That's pretty much all they can do while you're down on the ground and kind of tucked between the cage and the wall.
I was only down for a moment. I stood
Right.
back up. The shaman, I don't think, retreated in the time that I was down.
He tried to tackle you and you hit him and you got knocked to the side. And so it's like 4 goblins sort of around you, and then the shaman and one of the other goblins behind shouting encouragements and yelling.
The shaman must have withdrawn while I was downed.
Yeah, must be.
All right, who returns fire this round?
The 3 spearmen will all try and stab at you as the other goblins shout encouragements with a 5, a 13, and a 15. Yes.
The
13,
13 to
15.
15 hit, yeah.
Okay. So the 13 will skewer you for 4. The 15 will skewer you for 5 piercing damage.
Which is reduced by armor to 1 and 2.
Yep. The third guy that's here, the fourth guy is here with a chain, and he'll try and smack you with it with a miss. The shaman in the back is going to cast his very last spell and produces a sickle of flame for extending from his hand.
Can you attack the round that is conjured, or is it?
He can, but there's goblins in the way, and he's yelling at them to get the fuck out of his way so he can burn the damn dwarf. While the last one just cheers and shouts, holding a flaming log. And that's initiative.
Is it? It is.
All right, the shaman goes at 4.
4? What's the initiative of a sickle?
I was gonna say 3. He rolls 1. 1 and 3 is 4.
Yeah, I think he still probably goes before me, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
So he'll yell at the chain wielding goblin to step back. The chain wielding goblin will step back, not withdraw, just step back. So go ahead and make your opportunity attack because, he's gonna make his attack later.
Yeah. D20 plus 3 is a 20. Is that
Holy shit! That's
is that a crit? It clears by 10, right?
It does clear by 10.
I think, how many rounds have I been strong for?
Oh, it's been like 6 or 7. We've been here for a while.
Okay, so I think it lasts for 7 or 8 at this point. Strength.
We'll just call this the last round then.
3 plus 1 per level. It lasts 7, so we'll say this is the last round.
Okay.
8 points of damage.
So the chain guy goes to step back, and you just rip open his chest cavity with an underhanded swing.
Yeah,
splitting
leaving
his
space
sternum.
for the flame blade, which is treated like a scimitar, by the way.
Okay. So he will
which
step forward and roll to hit.
Oh, you don't even have a scimitar in your new equipment, do you?
It'd just be under an arming sword. Yeah.
An arming sword or a short sword?
Either one. He rolls a natural 20, so it doesn't matter in the slightest.
I was talking about the speed. I was with weapon speed.
Weapon speed.
Okay. But he rolls 20, which should hit. It won't crit unless he has bonuses.
He's a 3rd level cleric, so he's got +1 to hit from that. And I don't think there's any bonus to hit from the blade itself. So it's just a regular hit. That does D4 plus 4. He'll hit you
with
for
a damage
8.
bonus of 2. What does that even mean? 4.
7.
So it is. There's +2 on top of it. It's D4 plus 6.
Yeah,
that's really weird. But I think a magic bonus of 2 or something weird.
Right.
Is this reduced? This is reduced by armor though, or at least
yes.
part of it is.
So he does 10 damage.
Mm-hmm.
4 of it is burning. Yeah.
But I can reduce.
You can reduce the other 6.
6 slashing, so I take 4 points of burning damage.
Yeah. So you take 4 fire damage from the creature.
Fortunately, most of my gear is metal, so I don't think I catch fire.
Yeah. Yep. And the remaining 3 spearmen will make their stab attacks at you with an 8, a 4, and a hit with a 17. Who gets a goblin spear for 6. Right in your
3.
belly.
I'm not looking good. Let's hope my attacks go well this round. Am I on a 2-attack round? I think I am.
Sure. That makes sense.
Ooh, I missed with the first one. Shield punch. This is all versus the shaman, by the way. It's my last round of strong. All right, 2 points of bludgeoning to the shaman.
Ooh,
who I think was wounded once before.
Yes, he is.
Still up?
He's still up.
All right. Battle
Second
axe. 10 should do it.
That'll hit. Got 5.
Last strong, only 3.
Ooh. All right. So at the end of the round, we've got 3 spearmen, a shaman, and a cheerleader in the back.
Okay, their numbers have been cut in twain, so they may be rethinking their position right about now. Although I'm pretty slow on the draw.
They are.
So let's see how their morale holds up.
Yeah, it's not also the strongest goblins of the pack that are here. But they're confident. They can see that you're badly wounded and bleeding, and they've got a flame blade on hand, so they're comfortable. They're ready to do this. They will go at 10 and 11. Oh, that's just before you.
I think I will use my shield, my offhand shield, to block.
Okay.
If that's acceptable.
Yes. Who would you like? Would you like to use it against a spearman or
against
a
the
sickler?
flame blade? Is that possible?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 3 spearmen go first. They will make their stabs. 4, 10, and 11 are all misses, and the shaman will go.
So I think we'll do opposed rolls, but I should get a penalty of something to this. I don't remember what it is, but I guess we'll see. 11 is not great, so I don't think
he rolls a natural
hit.
15, modified 16 anyway.
It's gonna be rough. I guess slash.
Well, yep. The slashing is all reduced, so you just take the 4 fire damage.
Okay, which brings me to 5. Come on.
Your face is
lucky
badly
hit.
burned. I think most of your beard is singed off at this point. And it's your turn.
All right. No. Yep. It's my axe, and I got a hit. I think.
Yes.
No, I miss.
No, you miss. And
so
it's
we're
initiative.
looking at initiative. And I don't think I can take any more hits.
The
12.
goblin shaman with the flame blade says, "Throw down your arms, you puny dwarf. Surrender, and we may let you live yet." All right. There's a few enough goblins that I'm rolling their initiative individually from now on. They will go at 7. No, at 8, 10, 15,
hold on.
and 14.
Chat's pointing out that the damage bonus I was telling you is there is for undead or creatures especially vulnerable to fire. So it's just the D4 plus 4.
Oh, the +2 is only for...
The +2 is for undead.
Oh, sure. Well, that's fine. But we weren't...
Balrog.
We were doing the 4 damage of the 4 fire damage from the 1d4 plus 4. The
that's
2
what
is
it
just
should be.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's still just 4 damage.
It's been reduced
okay,
anyway. He can't do. He can only do 4 damage to you because your armor will absorb the rest.
Yeah. I will block again with that shield. I'm gonna block a spear actually.
Okay. So go ahead and make your roll against the shield, the spear.
Yeah. Dink. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but he hits you with it.
What is 0?
He rolls a 4 for damage with piercing
Reduced
weapon.
by 3 to 1. So now that if that flame blade hits me, I'm going down to 0. Oh, I've got. Damn it! I've got those good berries, but I guess there was never really around.
Next spear attack is a miss, and you rolled what, a 12 for initiative?
Yeah.
You go for next.
19.
Oh.
Let's bring this sucker down.
Yeah.
Max damage.
The 2 HP burning goblin crumples to the ground. The 2 remaining ones are going to decide.
Attack that round.
Go ahead and make your attack then.
All the regular goblins have gone, so I can just return fire. Nope. So there's
All right.
3 next to me, right?
There's 3 spearmen and the cheerleader, and the spearmen are going
I'm
to
shouting in common at them like, your shaman has fallen.
and
Your clan is cursed.
this time they just start to retreat. They just start to fall back.
Flee, slavers. So they withdraw, not provoking ways.
They withdraw, and we roll initiative for the next round.
Yeah, I think there is. Yeah, I don't think I can do anything other than let them withdraw. Hope they don't murder my.
Yep,
Yeah, I
they
guess
withdraw on their turn. It's your turn.
Okay. I will follow after them. I think I will sort of use my shield hand to pull a good berry off of my crown and eat it as I follow after them.
Okay.
So I'll heal up to 5.
So you're not going to take this opportunity to escape. You're going to try and finish this off.
Aren't they retreating back towards the goats?
No, they're not retreating outside. They're retreating in towards the fire. Like they're putting the fire between you and them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there another exit to this cave?
Not that you've seen, but it does look like it continues deeper within.
Okay. There's how many goblins? 4?
3 with spears. The cheerleader has since picked up a burning log.
I'm gonna go pick up the remaining spear on the ground and huck it at them, I think. But that round I was eating a good berry.
Okay.
So what did they do? Nothing, they just like ready themselves by the fire?
They have readied attacks, all of them. If you get within melee range, they all get strikes.
Say that again if I go, oh yeah, I'm not going to melee range.
Right. There is 1 spear outside of their group, so you can pick that up on your turn and hurl it at them.
Yeah, I'll give that a shot. I get -2 for being non-proficient with it, I think. So total +1. Nope.
No good.
Fall into the fire.
Yeah, it boop, boop, boop.
And I
The
think with
goblins
that,
will.
I
go
just
ahead.
retreat and I huck the spear and leave.
All right, you huck
back
the
down the
spear.
hallway.
You leave. You hear cheering and victory shouts from within.
I shout back how their house of slavers is cursed. Their holy men lie dead and bleeding. They may be cheering, but I think they're surrounded with the corpses of all their friends.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run back out to the goat cave.
You make it back out to the goats, and you see the halflings. They're there, standing near the goats, looking at you as you crawl through this dirty little hole. And we will see what the halflings have to say on the other side of our break. So we'll see you on the other side.